Hello students, welcome to the English class. I am Varinder Kaur Sekho, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Machli Kalan, District, Mohali. And today's session is for class 11, subject English. It is an initiative of Department of School Education, Punjab, Padho Punjab, Padhao Punjab, English team. So students, you must be curious what we are going to study today. Before studying, we are going to enjoy something. And what is that? Poetry. Students, whenever you study poetry, more important than studying is to enjoy it, because poetry is the music of language. And what does music do? Music gives us pleasure. Similarly, when we recite a beautiful poem, it gives us pleasure. So today we are going to recite a poem, then study it, critically analyze it, and last but not the least, the question answers for our examination also. So going by that order, first of all, let's introduce ourselves to the topic lines written in early spring, a poem written by William Wordsworth. Before we start the poem, let's know a little bit about the poet William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was born on April 7, 1770 in Cumberland, England, and died on April 23, 1850, Westmoreland. It's also in England. William Wordsworth was one of the greatest poets in English literature, whose lyrical ballads was written with Samuel Taylor Coleridge helped launch the English Romantic movement in English literature. He is known as Poet of Nature. Wordsworth has a renowned reputation as the poet of nature. In his works, nature assumes a personality, an almost divine spirit that permeates all objects. To be close to nature, Wordsworth philosophized, was to be close to God. And he wrote with simple poetic style. His most famous poem is Daffodils. So बच्चों, विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ਨੂੰ नेचर ਦਾ ਕਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪੋਇਮਸ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਨੇਚਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਐਂਡ ਨੇਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੋਰਟਰੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਇਫ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਪਰਸਨ ਐਂਡ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਵਰਡਸਵਰਥ ਕਨੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਨੇਚਰ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਨੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਗॉड ਕੁਦਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਦਰਜਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਦਰਜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੋ ਦਿਸ ਵਾਸ glorification of nature in almost all of his poems. Now, something about the poem. This poem was included in preface to lyrical ballads. Lines written in early spring is a landscape poem that is largely concerned with nature. The narrator sits underneath a tree in the wilderness and contemplates the changes that society has undergone around him. The poem is set in a landscape of beauty, a small woodland grove. Wordsworth was inspired into writing this poem when he was walking near Alford. So, the setting of the poem can be associated with the beautiful scenery of Alford. So ਬੱਚੋ ਇਹ ਪੋਇਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ the narrator is sitting in a beautiful environment. ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਦਰਮਿਆਨ poet ਬੈਠੇ ਹਨ ਔਰ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਕਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਹੈ, ਦੂਸਰਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦਾ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਨੇਚਰ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਆਪੋਜ਼ਿਟ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਤੁਲਨਾ ਇਸ ਪੋਇਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ। ਸੋ ਲੈਟਸ study the poem, but as I promised, before studying we should always recite the poem because recitation gives us pleasure. So I'm going to recite this poem for you, and after the class I would advise you to open your books and recite in the same manner. So let's enjoy the poem. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trade its wreaths, and this my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hopped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? The students, I hope you enjoyed the poem, and I advise you to recite it after the class. Let's analyze the poem. First of all, we need to understand the words used in the lines of the poem. Grove. What's a grove? Grove is a small wood or a group of trees, as you can see in the picture. Blended. The musical notes mixed with one another to form a melodious tune. Sangeet da milya julya prabhav mishran. Grieved. Sad. Dukhi. Now let's analyze the poem. I heard 1,000 blended notes. While in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Lines written in early spring is written in quatrains. Quatrains means 4 lines. As you can see, 4 lines. These are quatrains. And in the quatrains, the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B. Now, what does this mean? Students, look at the last words. The first line, last word is notes. This notes is rhyming with the last word of the third line, thoughts. This is A, A. And the second line, last word is reclined. And this word is rhyming with mind. So the rhyme scheme becomes A, B, A, B. In the next quatrain, link is rhyming. Rhyming means जिसका sound similar होए, सुनन ਨੂੰ similar है. Link rhymes with think and ran rhymes with man. So A, B, A, B. So lines written in early spring is written in quatrains rhyming A, B, A, B. In the first quatrain, ਪਹਿਲੀਆਂ 4 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ Wordsworth sits in a small woodland grove ਦਰਖਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਮੂਹ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਨ, surrounded by beauty and listens to the bird song around him. So he is enjoying the company of nature. ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਨ ਔਰ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਦੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਨੂੰ. The second quatrain moves briefly away from nature to reminisce on the misery that humans have caused each other since time immemorial. So दूसरे stanza ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ poet nature ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. What is the man doing? Nature has formed a strong connection between itself and the soul of mankind. But man has repaid the favor by making a mess of his relations with his fellow man. Nature's soul is connected to humanity, but he has ignored it and deteriorated himself by indulging in wars and exploitation. So he is sad. Poet बहुत उदास है इस सोच के कि what man has made of man. नेचर ਦਾ ਪਲਾਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਹੈ, ਨੇਚਰ ਦੀ ਹਾਰਮਨੀ ਤਾਲਮੇਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਲਮੇਲ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ? ਨਹੀਂ. ਦੇਖੋ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. This is what he means by the second quatrain. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran. Fair works of nature are the beautiful works of nature. Nature de khoobsurat nazare. They are linked with the soul of human beings. And much it grieved my heart. मेरे दिल ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁਖੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ what man has made of man. Why harmony is not present among human beings. Let's move on. And for that we need to study some more words. Green bower, a pleasant shady place under trees or climbing plants in a garden or a wood. Periwinkle, a small plant, an old world plant with flat 5 petals, typically bluish flowers and glossy leaves. You can see in the picture 5 ਪੱਤਿਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ flowers हैं जिनका ਦਾ ਨਾਮ है periwinkle. And primrose, a small plant with yellow flowers. It's a European plant of woodland and hedgerows. ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ flowers ਨੇ which have been mentioned in the poem periwinkle and primrose. And grove you can see a beautiful shady place under the trees. Wreath, an arrangement of flowers, leaves or stems fastened in a ring and used for decoration or for laying on a grave. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ graves ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਂਜਲੀ ਪੇਂਟ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ wreaths ਰੱਖੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਔਰ in houses for decoration. But in the poem the wreaths are not man made, they are natural. ਬੇਲਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ wreaths ਬਣਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ. Thrill of pleasure, giving great pleasure and excitement. As you see in the picture when you are in the water park and you go down the slides, what do you experience? Thrill of pleasure. Let's read the next lines. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The words around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. So primrose tufts, primrose flowers de gucce in that green bower under the green trees. And what is the periwinkle making? Periwinkle is making wreaths around circle as you saw in the picture. So let's read the explanation. In this quatrain, the presence of nature as a living thing strikes again. As in most of the poems of Wordsworth, he presents nature as a living thing. So there are words in the poem which again reinforces this point. This time in the movement verbs used trailed for periwinkle, breathes for the flowers. Throughout lines written in early spring, Wordsworth does his best to create the idea of a living, breathing world. It presents the natural world of birds and flowers as one of calm agreement and pleasure, contrasted with the failure of mankind to live in such harmony. So in these poems, I go back again. There is beauty all around, beautiful primrose, flowers, tufts, and periwinkle making wreaths, and he believes that they are enjoying the air they are breathing. The nature is presented as living, and the birds are hopping around the narrator, they are playing, and he says that I don't know what they are thinking. I cannot measure their thoughts. मैनू नहीं पता वो की सोच रहे ने, but the motion indicates, उन्हां दी motion तो उन्हां दी हरकतां तो देख के ये साफ पता चल रहा है that they are feeling a thrill of pleasure, that all of these birds and these plants, they are in harmony with each other and they are very, very happy. Let's read the last two quatrains and study the words needed to understand these lines. Budding twigs, branches of trees with buds. You can see in the picture small buds on the trees, branches of trees. Breezy, pleasantly windy, हल्की फुल्की हवा, तेज नहीं, हल्की जी हवा. Lament, cries out in sorrow, बहुत ही दुख दी आवाज दिल चो जदों आंदी है, cries out in sorrow. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? So Wordsworth ends the lines written in early spring with the same lament that was mentioned earlier. If you remember, when we studied the second quatrain, the poet was sad that although there is harmony in the nature, but what has man made of man? So same sadness is again present in the end of the poem. Throughout the poem, there was the attempt by nature to heal the injured soul of the poet, the speaker. Near the end, despite the best efforts of nature herself, the poet-speaker's spirits are still melancholy and low in spite of the healing effect Wordsworth claimed nature possessed. It ends on a somber, sad note. The world of nature, untouched by the miseries of humanity, continues on, while the human soul is left behind to experience the misery of the human world. So इस पूरी पोएम दे विच, पोएम दी स्टार्टिंग दे विच भी स्पीकर पोएट उदास है इंसान दे बिहेवियर ते, एंड एंड दे विच भी वो एक सैड नोट दे नाल पोएम नू एंड कर रहा है कि व्हेन हार्मनी इज प्रेजेंट इन नेचर, जदों इन्ना खूबसूरत तालमेल कुदरत दे विच प्रेजेंट है, ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਲਮੇਲ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ? ਇਸ ਪੋਇਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇਚਰ ਦੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਪੋਇਟ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਦੇ, ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਬਿਹੇਵੀਅਰ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁਖੀ ਵੀ ਹੈ. Let's analyze the poem further. Poetic devices in the poem. Ballad. What is a ballad? Ballad is a poem that is typically arranged in quatrains. ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਵੀ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ quatrains, 4 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ. Quatrains with rhyme scheme ABAB. So ਇਸ poem ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ it is a ballad, and ballads are usually narrative in nature. So this poem is composed in the form of a ballad constituting of 6 quatrain, 6 quatrain ने दे अंदर, और हर quatrain दियां 4 lines ने, total 24 lines. Alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound, usually initial consonants of the words in any sequence of words. ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ word ਦੇ first consonant repeat ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ words ਵਿੱਚ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ alliteration ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. and ਇਸ poem ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2 examples ਹਨ alliteration ਦੇ. First is what man has made of man. Ma sound, again ma sound, again ma sound. M, M, M. This is the repetition of the consonant, the first consonant of the words. This is alliteration. In the second line, and it's my faith that every flower, F and F. 2 words, repetition of these sounds. So these are 2 examples of alliteration in the poem. And what style has been used by the poet? As we discussed already, in quatrain, this rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Summary of the poem. The speaker tells that while sitting reclined on a woodland grove, his mind was filled with several thoughts. The speaker appreciates the nature for her godlike abilities of linking a human soul to herself, but he also feels grief while thinking about how cruelly man has separated himself from Mother Nature. The speaker is highly appreciative of the nature's beauty. He finds delight in the green bowers and has faith that the beautiful flowers enjoy the air they breathe. They are thankful for living besides the nature. The speaker observes the birds which sing and hop around him. Though the speaker does not understand their language and ways, he does recognize their pleasure and joy. The breeze flowing is sweet and light. The twigs are spreading out as if to catch the sweet air, and all the speaker can do is gather pleasure in their existence. The speaker questions that if this is heaven and this is the holy plan of nature, then what has man made of man? That is himself and his kind by separating from such joy. 40 years on, Wordsworth was to recall of lines written in early spring. Wordsworth ने अपने शब्दां च दस्या वो पोइम उन्होंने कदों कंपोज की. Actually composed while I was sitting by the side of the brook that runs down from the combe in which stands the village of Alford through the grounds of Alfoxden. तो एल्फर्ड नाम दे पिंड दे कोल एक बहुत सुंदर पानी दे झरने दे कोलों निकलते हुए इस पोइम दे कंपोजिशन की उन्होंने. It was a chosen resort of mine. The brook fell down a sloping rock so as to make a waterfall considerable for that country, and across the pool below had fallen a tree, an ash, if I rightly remember, from which rose perpendicularly boughs in search of light, intercepted by the deep shade above. ये शब्द ਹਨ विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਪੋਇਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਦੋਂ ਔਰ ਕਿਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੰਪੋਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ. Central idea of the poem. The poet reclines in a beautiful grove surrounded by the blended notes of nature. Even as he enjoys the scene, it inspires a melancholy mood, and the speaker begins to have dark thoughts about humanity. Nature in this poem do everything right. It is man who has failed by rejecting nature. The perfection of nature seen vis-a-vis the conduct of human saddens the poet. Melancholy sets in because of the striking contrast between nature and humanity. Poet says, that man's separation from nature is the main cause of all his evils and worries. So central idea is poem da ki hai कि when the poet was sitting in the beautiful grove, ਉਸਦੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਉਸਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਬਟ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਨਾਲ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਉਦਾਸੀ ਹੈ. ਮੈਲਨਕਲੀ ਮੂਡ ਮੀਨਸ ਸੈਡ ਮੂਡ, ਔਰ ਡਾਰਕ ਥਾਟਸ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੀ, ਇਨਸਾਨੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ ਕਿ ਨੇਚਰ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਸਹੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਨੇਚਰ ਡਜ਼ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਰਾਈਟ, ਬਟ ਮੈਨ ਨੇ ਨੇਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਕੇ बहुत गलत कीता है. मैन हैज़ इग्नोर्ड नेचर एंड मैन हैज़ डिटीरियोरेटेड. उसने अपने किरदार ਨੂੰ बहुत थल्ले ले आंदा है. It is a comparison of human beings with nature. The students, I hope you understood the poem. In the next session, we'll study the question answers related to this chapter, and till then, what you have to do is you will revise all the poem, will recite the poem, you will study the poem and be prepared for the question answers in the next session. And this is Varinder Kaur Sekhon, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Machli Kalan District, SAS Nagar, Punjab. It's a project under Padho Punjab, Padhao Punjab English. So students, do recite the poem at home and be prepared for question answers, and your homework is write the central idea of the poem, lines written in early spring. Thank you so much. Enjoy studying, enjoy the poem.